Hello, good afternoon. This is David Stoddard talking to you, and today is my weekly trade predictions for the upcoming trading week of August 30th through September 3rd, 2021. Okay, and what I'll do here is I will look at all the major Forex currency pairs on a 30-minute time frame. Okay, and I do that just so we can see what happened this past week, right? And then I will compare that to higher time frames, such as the 4-hour, daily, and weekly charts, and then I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen this coming week, right? So just like always, I want to go over what happened this past week, and as you can see here on the chart, okay, it's very, very slow. Oh my god, this past week was very boring even for me. I didn't place many trades because there was not a lot of movement, okay, and there was not a lot of money to be made in the Forex market, okay. So you know, it is what it is. Now we see here on Friday, okay, I'm going to show you right here. We had a lot of high impact news that came out on Friday, and high impact news is what moves the market, okay. Is good and bad depending on which way you want to do, which way you want the market to go. But we do see here a lot of activity, and that's because there were a lot of high impact news that came out Friday, right? So, but most of all, everything was in a pretty much a flat range of market. Now, I did expect the US dollar to drop a lot more this past week, and it did not. So that's kind of a good sign that the US dollar is remaining stable. Okay, so I don't know if the US dollar is going to continue dropping this coming week. I have a feeling it probably will, and we'll go over that here in a few minutes. But first of all, I want to talk about EURUSD, which I have pulled up on the screen here. Okay, as you can see, okay, it's pretty much a flat range market, but it did have a steady, a steady uptrend, uphill climb, where the price ended higher than where it began. So, you know, it did rise, not a lot, not significant, but you know, this is like a pullback, if you will, because EURUSD is headed down long term. Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, right now it's showing to go up. Okay, we have a blue arrow and no red arrow, but it did hit this strong level of resistance right here, which is pretty much what I predicted last week. If it breaks this, I don't know. Okay, if it breaks this, where's it going to go? It's going to go to a higher level, which would probably be maybe right here. Okay, because like, see, there's a resistance here. It broke, formed a support, hit the support here, broke, and rode along that resistance support right there, and then finally dropped. So as of right this very minute, okay, that is still a resistance. Okay, that would probably be the next feasible spot where it's going to go up to. I don't know the future, so you know, do not hold me to what is going to happen, but it is very possible. Now, what we can do is, like I told you last week, you could put a sell limit pending order right here, and as you can see, it's starting to come back down, and it probably will. You can also put a sell limit pending order just below this green line here, below this level of resistance, okay, and catch the price when it comes back down. It's going to be dropping long term. If you look at the daily chart, it shows to go up. Okay, and we look at the weekly chart, however, it shows to go down, and it already broke this level of support, which I can mark right there. Okay, so we have a support here which broke, so that's a good sign that this is going to be dropping long term. Okay, now the thing is, the daily chart shows the buy right now, so is it going to keep going up? Okay, you know, here's that resistance I drew, but if it keeps going up, it's going to go up to this level or this level. Okay, it's not going to go way up here. Impossible. Okay, I would suspect to go up here or possibly right here. Okay, before it forms another red arrow. Okay, I don't know, but right here would probably be more feasible. If we zoom out a little bit, see right here, there's a red arrow here before, so that would probably be a more feasible spot for this to go up to and form a red arrow. That's going to take time. Okay, this is a daily chart I'm looking at right here, and that could take another month or two. I don't know. 4-hour chart shows the buy still. So, and we're at a pretty strong level of resistance right now. 1-hour chart shows the sell. So the smaller time frames are showing you the sell right now. So what's going to happen this week, okay, is we're going to see the price initially in the beginning of the week. We should see that price drop back down, okay, and then by the middle of the week we're going to see it spike back up again, and most likely we're going to see it break that resistance. Okay, I'm going to mark this right here, and we're probably going to see this right here break and go up even higher. Okay, no guarantees, but I feel strongly that is what will happen, simply because if you look at the 4-hour chart, okay, if we look here at the 4-hour chart, it shows to go up. We have a resistance right here, resistance here, there, so it should be going up long term in the next few weeks. Okay, now if this EURUSD goes up, that means the US dollar is going down. Okay, so we'll have to take a look at the US dollar as a whole and see what the US dollar is going to be doing, because if the US dollar is going to be going up, the euro is going to go down. Okay, you can't have both going up. Okay, it's just not going to happen. So, and really, if you get both of these neck and neck, you'll get a lot of flat range of markets. Okay, and that's kind of what's been happening here in this past week. But yes, the daily chart shows to go up, so I feel this will be going up for sure. We're not going to see a huge movement up because the weekly chart shows to go down. So, and also keep in mind that with the daily chart, it is possible to have a blue arrow followed by another lower blue arrow, okay, with no red arrow in between. Okay, it is very, very possible. Like example here, we had a red arrow followed by a lower red arrow. Okay, so we could have the same thing happen here. I don't know. We had a blue arrow followed by a lower blue arrow. Okay, so it is very, very possible for that to happen. Okay, and right now we are going to a long downtrend. Okay, that's going to be the next few months, probably the remainder of this year. We're going to see that slowly drop down, okay, as the US dollar goes up. So anyhow, what do we do for this week? Okay, how did we trade this week? Okay, like I said, right now it's getting ready to drop. Wait until at least the London session on Monday to see what the market is doing. Let the market get stabilized. Let the market wake up from this little weekend nap, if you will, and that way we get some data, we can see what the market is doing, and then you can place your sell trade. Okay, I think it's going to drop, like it's going to drop the first half of the week and then go back up the remainder, and it should end higher than where it began. Okay, that's my prediction for this week. Do trade with caution. We have some high impact news this week. This coming Friday is the non-farm payroll. So with that said, okay, we're going to have a lot of activity coming up towards the end of the week. The beginning of the week is going to be pretty much dead. Okay, come towards the end of the week, we'll have a lot of activity in the market, so be careful about that. Same thing happened this past week. Beginning of the week was dead. By the end of the week we have a lot of activity, so it's going to be a repeat. Okay, pretty much going to be a repeat this week of what happened last week. I think we're going to see the price steadily go up again. All right, this past week it slowly went up. This week we're going to see the same thing happen. So yes, you can both buy and sell using a 30-minute chart. Just keep in mind that right now, for the next week, 2 weeks, this price is going up, even though the long-term aspect is bearish. Okay, so right now the price is going to be going up. Now let's look at the GBPUSD, Great British Pound versus the US dollar. Okay, here we see the price, pretty much moving sideways with a slight uptrend. Okay, similar to what we saw with EURUSD. Okay, and these two kind of follow similar trade patterns. Anyhow, and again we see a lot of activity, volatility this past Friday. But other than that, yes, we had a kind of a uptrend, but more of a flat range of market. But the market did not have a lot of movement, and that's indicated by the size of the candles. You see here, these candles are really small. We had some little spurts with some good trading activity, but overall, most of these candles are very small. Okay, very small movements, and that unfortunately that means small profits to gain. But we do have some nice downtrend, uptrend. If you use a 30-minute time frame, like I recommend, and buy and sell on using the 30-minute arrows, you will make some money. Now, right now it's showing to sell, and it probably will drop the first half of the week, just like I said with the EURUSD, right? First half of the week we should see it drop, and then by the second half of the week it'll go back up. That's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting the same thing anyhow, but let's just look at the 4-hour chart real quick. Okay, the 4-hour chart shows to go up still. So we should see the price dip back down in the first half of the week and then shoot back up even higher. Okay, I don't know. We want the price to go up to this level. Okay, that's where kind of the target area where we should see a red arrow form on the 4-hour chart. And if you look on the daily chart, the same thing. Okay, we're looking for a red arrow to form, but I don't know. Right here would be like the more obvious place for a red arrow to form on a daily chart. So yeah, so the 4-hour, see, he's got it right there, but if the 4-hour forms here, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go back up to that same spot. Who knows? Okay, nobody knows. But the weekly chart shows to go down. Now it's kind of right in this range right here, but we know long term in the coming months, probably the remainder of this year, we're already going into September now. We got September, October, November, December, 4 months that we will see this price dropping long term. All right, going into next year, I don't know. It probably will continue to drop even more going into next year, but that's a little ways out right now. I can't tell you what's going to happen there. But for this week, the price should go up. Okay, the price should end higher than where it began. We haven't seen a lot of movement this week. We're probably not going to see a lot of movement either, except this coming Friday. Okay, this coming Friday is the non-farm payroll, and we will see a lot of volatility. Okay, Thursday and Friday this week we should see a lot of activity, as there is a lot of high impact news coming out, and that's what moves the market. Okay, so anyhow, yes, you can both buy and sell. 1 hour shows to sell, 30 minutes shows to sell. So now looks like a pretty good time to sell, and then wait for the next blue arrow, close the trade, buy on the next blue arrow, close the trade on the next red arrow. Just keep repeating that process basically, right? So yeah, you can both buy and sell using a 30-minute time frame. Also, the price is going to go up. Okay, we can kind of predict that. If I go to the 1 hour chart, that's what I was looking for, we have a support right here. So what you can do is put a buy limit pin in order, like right in here. Okay, not right on that line, but somewhere right in here. 1.3700. Okay, would be a good number. 1.37. Put a buy limit pin in order right there, 1.37, and then catch the price as it goes back up. Okay, also we know the long-term aspect of this is bearish. Okay, it's going down long term, so you could put a sell limit up high here. Okay, if that makes any sense. Okay, put a buy limit here, catch it when it goes back up, and you probably you could easily get 1,000 pips out of this, right? Let's say you put a buy limit here, 1,000 pips is right there. You know, 1,000 pips are points, so you could go as much as 2,000, but I probably wouldn't push it that hard. But easily get 1,000 pips out of this on a buy, and then when the price finally goes up, have a sell limit there ready to catch the price when it drops back down. And that's probably going to happen, you know, within the next couple of weeks, you know, but you know, at least be prepared. Okay, you can place a buy limit right now and just wait till I don't know, end of this week or next week when you see the price going up, and then get ready to sell again. So that's just an idea, extra strategy for you. But yes, you could buy and sell right now. Right now, you could definitely sell and catch some pips on the way down and catch some pips on the way back up. No big deal, okay? That's good. That's good strategy. You just need to be monitoring this every few hours, okay? Now, moving on to Australian dollar versus US dollar. Kind of a similar situation where the price ended higher, definitely higher than where it began. We definitely had a nice little uptrend this week. Kind of a pullback because this is on a long-term trend going down. So the price did go back up this week. I don't know, but I think it's going to go up even more. As you can see right here, the price is at a strong resistance, but it's not really dropping. And we had a lot of volatility on Friday because of all the high impact news that came out. But if we look here on the 4-hour chart, it shows to go up, right? So not surprising. Question is, how high is it going to go? I already got this marked here. Okay, if we go on the daily chart, that would probably be the most susceptible place for this to go. Okay, I don't know. I'm not a magician. It may go that high, it may not. But what you can do is put a sell limit pin order just below here. Okay, just in case of the event that it goes that high. I have a feeling that it probably will, but again, that's all dependent on the US dollar. Okay, if the US dollar goes up, this will go down. Okay, it's just how it works. So we need the US dollar to be dropping more. Okay, and again, this Friday is non-farm payroll. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with that. So, boom. I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is long term, the Australian dollar, US dollar is going down. Because look at this. We have a red arrow and it broke this support and it's dropping more. Okay, had a support here that broke. Now we're waiting for the price to drop down to here and break that. So right now it looks like it's going to be going up. So it might go back up to this level. I think it's going to be riding sideways with like a slight uptrend. Okay, because it's going to continue to uptrend for the next couple of weeks. Whether or not it will actually reach this level, I have no idea, but it is very, very possible. We see the price. I like to look at the past and kind of get an idea what's going to happen in the future. Here we see a downtrend and then a pullback, downtrend, break that support and pull back, ride that support, and then eventually drop. So we'll kind of see the same thing here. We'll probably have a downtrend. You know, it'll probably come down like this. Came down, back up, and before it finally hit that support, it's going to come down, go back up, ride there for a while, and finally hit that support, and then break, and then go back up again. Okay, so the past generally repeats itself. We're going to see the same type of thing play out here that happened before. Okay, and then eventually it's going to drop down a lot more in the long run. Okay, and that might happen next year. I don't know. Okay, but the remainder of this year we probably can expect it to be going down. But the next few weeks, probably 2 weeks, it's probably going to go up. Okay, that's just what's happening right now. At the moment, it's going up, but long term it's going to go down. So like I said, you would put a sell limit here, and right now it looks like a good time to be buying, although the 1 hour shows to sell, 30-minute shows to sell. So this is a very, very fresh signal. Okay, this is not like the EURUSD we saw. This is a very fresh signal, so I would not sell right away. I would wait till at least the London session on Monday, maybe even the New York session, just to see what the market is doing before I place a sell trade. Okay, now I do think the market will probably dip back down some in the beginning of the week and then spike back up again around the middle of the week, and we should see the price end higher than where it began. Okay, so you should be safe to buy and sell on a 30-minute time frame, but just know that the price is going up this week. Okay, so if you want to kind of play it safe, you could buy only, okay, with the Australian dollar, US dollar, because this is very strong going up. Okay, now let's look at USDCHF. This one should be going down, which actually, if you see here, yeah, the price ended lower than where it began, but we're pretty much in a flat range of market. Okay, we had a little bit of a drop, then a spike back up, and then with all this high impact news that came out on Friday, I'm not sure exactly what caused the high impact, what caused the price to drop, but you know, there's the Jackson Hole symposium, but I don't know everything that happened in the meeting, but there are a lot of talks with banks and different things like that. So obviously there was a lot of talk that negatively impact. Also, there was a federal chairman, Powell, that spoke. So there was a lot, I guess, but the news of that seemed positive, seemed energetic. So like US dollar was back on track to be gaining, but then the price dropped. So it's kind of interesting to see the price drop like that on Friday. Will it continue to drop? Probably. Okay, you look like it hit a strong support here, but I think it's going to drop even more, and that's okay, because if we see the Australian dollar, US, Great British Pound, Euro, all of those go up, then we will see the US dollar drop. Okay, now we know the long-term aspect of the US dollar is to go up. Right now it's pretty much riding sideways. You know, the price hit this support. You have a support here where the price hit again. It slightly broke that support, so yes, I believe that it's going to drop even more. If you look at the 4-hour chart, it shows to sell. Okay, now if I mark the support right here, it has not touched that. It hit this support and broke it, but not this one. So I don't know. I think in the beginning of the week when we see it spike, price spike back up a little bit, and then by the end of the week we see the price come back down and break that support. Okay, that's just kind of my guess. If you look at the daily chart, we see the price to be going down. Okay, so we have a ways to go before it forms another blue arrow. Right here on this support, that would be the most likely spot for the next blue arrow to form. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So if that's true, then that means the next couple of weeks we're going to see the price drop. Okay, now what would cause the price to go up? We need something big to happen. Okay, that would occur with a fourth stimulus check. Okay, now Congress and Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all these people, all these bigwigs in Congress are fighting and trying to negotiate, trying to get a fourth stimulus package passed. Okay, Republicans want to block it, and some of the progressive Democrats want to block it as well. So they're trying to get all their ducks in a row, trying to get as much support as possible for a fourth stimulus check, okay, to go out. If they finally get this pushed, which is looking like that might happen in October, we don't know yet, but in the September, beginning of October, when they pass a fourth stimulus check, that would put more money back into the U.S. economy because more people will have money to spend. Okay, so you would see the U.S. dollar surge. Okay, I don't know. This is only a conspiracy theory, if you will, but I think a lot of this is already planned out. Okay, like senators in Congress, they know what's going on. I feel, my personal self, my own opinion, that they already know when they're going to pass a fourth stimulus check. They're just kind of waiting right now. Okay, but before the fourth stimulus check comes out, the price needs to drop. Okay, and when that fourth stimulus check gets passed, we'll see the price shoot back up. Okay, that's just how it works. So right now, it is safe to say that the US dollar will be dropping, and hopefully in the event that they do pass the fourth stimulus check, which I believe they will, because there's a new Delta variant, there's a lot of more lockdowns coming, there's a lot more face mask wearing, there's a lot more people out of a job, etc., etc. They're going to be forced to pass a fourth stimulus check, and we're going to see that US dollar shoot back up. So what should you do? Well, right here where this green line is, where the support is, you could put a buy limit pennant order and catch that price when it comes back up. because it will go back up eventually, okay? Because the long-term aspect is bullish. We look at the weekly chart, it shows to go up. So that's fine, okay? I know I talked enough to rattle your ear cage, but I just want to get that off my chest a little bit about this forced stimulus. Now, this week, we should see the price drop. We're at pretty strong support right now, and you should be fine to buy and sell on a 30-minute time frame. Keep in mind, right now, it's not really going up, is it, on the 30-minute chart? So wait until at least the New York session on Monday before you go placing a buy trade, okay? If you want to play it safe, I would sell only, okay? It's just my advice. Okay, moving on to US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Okay, here we see pretty much a flat range of market. The price ended almost exactly where it began, so that's okay. We have some decent movement, I guess. Nothing big, but you can still buy and sell on the 30-minute time frame, right? Now, if we look at the 4-hour chart, we see the price to go up, and yeah, it's kind of going up slowly. Daily chart shows to sell, and the weekly chart shows to buy, that's been shown for a long time, but I think the price is going to be dropping. Okay. 4-hour chart. See, here we have a 4-hour chart followed by a blue arrow followed by another blue arrow. We've had the same thing happen here. We have a blue arrow followed by another blue arrow, even lower. This blue arrow is followed by a lower blue arrow. We have a blue arrow followed by a lower blue arrow, so very, very possible. You look at a daily chart, it shows to sell, so we can expect this to be dropping long term, okay? Even though the weekly chart shows to buy, but that's a big, long term aspect. So this week, I would expect the price to be dropping. 1-hour chart shows to sell, 30-minute shows to buy. So we caught some support right here. Basically, the price will go up a little bit, okay, come the beginning of the week, but then we'll see the price drop even more. I think the price will excuse me, I got the hiccups. The price will definitely end lower than where it began, okay? Because of the daily chart shows to sell, which is stronger than a 4-hour, okay? 1-hour shows to sell. So what I'm predicting is we have a support right here, and that is where we are looking for the price to migrate to, okay? So we should see a lot of up and down range of markets this week with a slight downtrend, okay? Now going into next week, I don't know, because we have a non-farm payroll coming out, and God knows what's going to happen with the non-farm payroll. But anyhow, hopefully we have some good news, but I have a bad feeling we're not. Okay, last time we had some good news, but this week time I don't think so. Just my gut feeling. Anyhow, we should see most of the range of markets. So yeah, you should be able to say, you should be safe to buy and sell. If you want, you could sell only, okay, using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, that's just my safest recommendation, if you will. But yeah, you could both buy and sell this week. It's just know that this is going to be dropping for most of the week, okay? Now, last but not least is the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, okay? And we definitely see the price dropped down this past week, okay? This is from the 23rd of August to that. So this is all last week. So pretty much the price dropped and then formed a flat range of market, which is interesting. That generally indicates it's going to be a reversal. But I don't think the price of the dollar is going to go up, okay? If we look here on the 4-hour chart, it shows to sell, okay? So that falls in line with what I was saying earlier, that the US dollar will be dropping. And now how far will it drop? I don't think it's going to be a huge drop. If you look at the daily, it shows to sell. but the weekly shows to buy. So we know long term is going to go up. Okay, that's pretty much a given. The daily chart shows to sell, and keep in mind you could have a red arrow followed by a higher red arrow with nothing in between. If we zoom out, okay, just to let you know, there was a blue arrow followed by a much lower blue arrow. So we could have a red arrow followed by a much higher red arrow, just opposite, right? Right here we had a red arrow followed by a higher. Okay, so it is very possible that for the past to repeat itself. Okay, so I think this is going to be going up. Okay, I have a bad feeling you're not going to see a blue arrow. I don't think so. Maybe on the 4-hour chart, yes, you probably see a blue arrow. Although you see a red arrow followed by a higher red arrow because you're in a strong uptrend. Okay, so the same thing can happen again. 1-hour chart shows the sell right now. So I don't know. It's not really going into a downtrend. We're definitely in an uptrend. If I go to the 4-hour chart, look at this. I'm going to try and draw a trend line real quick. See if I can draw a trend line. Why does it do that? It does it every time. Okay. There we go. So that would mark our support. That would be where I would expect the price to drop. Okay. Before it forms a blue arrow. So, yeah, that would probably be right about there. Okay, I don't think it's going to drop all the way down there. So right here would be what I call X marks the spot. If I zoom in a little bit, maybe you can see this a little bit clearer. So that would be right here on this spot. Okay, thereabouts. So if we look at the 1-hour chart, it shows a sell. 30-minute shows a sell. So I would expect this to be dropping for most of the week. Again, this Friday is non-farm payroll, which affects both these currency pairs. So we will see. Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, hold on. The non-farm payroll for this week. Okay, let me go here real quick and show you real quick. There. The non-farm payroll right here only affects the US dollar. Does not affect the Canadian dollar. Next week we will see the Canadian dollar. If we go to next week, we will see the unemployment rate for the Canadian dollar. Okay, so this week is non-farm payroll for the US dollar only, and typically when that happens, you're not going to see a huge movement. Okay, so I don't foresee like any big gains or losses, but if you look right here on the forecast, okay, for the unemployment rate, it's expected to drop. Okay, but at the same time, the number of jobs is expected to drop as well. Okay, now another thing to keep in mind is that the unemployment in the U.S., okay, what they call the federal pandemic unemployment, is expected to end this coming September 6th. Okay, so that's also big news as well. I forgot to mention that, but there are going to be a lot of people out of work. I have a feeling that the unemployment rate is going to increase. Okay, I don't know. It says it's going to decrease right here, but we will see. I just have a gut feeling. I'm not a psychic. I'm not a fortune teller, but I have a gut feeling that this is going to increase the unemployment rate. I'm going to see the US dollar drop. Okay, so if I go back here, we are expecting the US dollar to drop anyhow, right? So that would fall in line, okay, with my predictions. Okay, so expect the US dollar to drop this week. If you want to play it safe, put your charts on a 30-minute time frame and sell only. It's already dropping on 30-minute time frame, so you're safe right now if you want to place a sell trade. But if we look at the 15-minute, it shows the buy. 5 minutes shows the buy, right? It's not really going up. but you might see a slight gain back up, especially on the 15-minute time frame. We'll probably see it go up a little bit more and then drop down again. So the fact that the 30-minute and the 1 hour showed the sell, I would expect this to be dropping. Okay, 4 hour as well. So yeah, I think most of the week you're going to see it drop. Okay, you're going to see some up and down, but overall it's going to drop, and it's going to hit this spot right here before it goes back up again. Okay, and it might break that and go down more. I don't know. But for this week, I would look to sell only using a 30-minute time frame. Okay, just to play it safe. Okay, so the other USD pairs you can buy and sell, but this one I would probably sell only. So anyhow, that concludes my weekly trade predictions. Sorry for the hiccups, but anyhow, life goes on, right? I don't mean to bore you if I did, but I hope I can definitely give you some knowledge on how to trade the market this week. If you have any questions at all about how to trade this week, or if you want me to analyze another currency pair, you want to have questions about these predictions here or any other prediction, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I do have a link in the description of my video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Okay. Also, I have a link for my private Facebook group, which you can join and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. Okay. So with that said, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I look forward to helping you. Thank you so much.